Hi, today I'm going to talk about the latest winner of the Scotiabank Giller Prize. It is a book prize in Canada. The book won this year's prize has an interesting title, How to Pronounce Knife. It is written by Souvkham Thammavongsa. She came to Canada from Laos when she was a little girl. English was not her first language. She asked her father how to pronounce Knife. Her father told her knife. As a little girl, she thought that her parents know everything, so she pronounced it knife. She was laughed at in school, but now she's a poet and a writer. She won this year's most famous book prize in Canada. I tried to order this book on chapters and it should arrive sometime next week. Now, I say this because few Hong Kongers may never even heard of this piece of news. Who cares for Hong Kongers about a famous book prize in Canada? However, many of my friends and probably the viewers here are from Hong Kong. English is not most Hong Kongers' first language. They are so afraid to speak in public, speak in English, because they're afraid that they have an accent, wrong grammar, I use the wrong tense, wrong preposition. I just cannot follow all the rules in the grammar book. They're so afraid, they're so self-conscious, they're afraid that they will lose face. What an inspiration to have someone who can win the Giller Prize, write so eloquently. But English is not even her first language. I know there are many Hong Kong YouTubers teaching us how to speak English in the right accent, in the right grammar, right tense, right preposition, follow the grammar book. And they even laugh at people who leave some English comment that they say, oh, your grammar is wrong. Yes, I understand. It is important to speak clearly and it is important to have good language skill. Thammavongsa actually went to ESL classes and learn English when she was a girl. There is no shame in speaking in a different accent. There is no shame to go to classes and learn. If you have an accent, it just means you can speak more than one language, or you can speak multiple languages. Racism still exists in Canada. I remember 20-some years ago when I first started teaching in the college. Like many universities and colleges in Canada, they would distribute evaluation forms to students at the end of the semester. The administration can evaluate the students' learning experience in the classroom. It is a good feedback mechanism, so the administration knows how the faculty are teaching in the classroom. Now, most of the time, I had good feedback. There are some students, they hate math. They don't do well. What did they do? They blame the teacher. And in some cases, many cases, I received the feedback has nothing about my teaching. I remember one student wrote, I don't know whether it's a he or she, in the review. It said, can the college hire Canadians to teach us? I was new in my job, so I didn't push it. It went no further. Actually, I was a Canadian longer than whosoever wrote that review ever lived. It depends on where the person was brought up. There's still some communities that had very little interaction with people from another ethnic background. There are some people who are born and raised up. They believe anybody who look differently, sound differently, is just not one of us, not my clan, not my tribe. They are inferior. They shouldn't be here. Believe it, some communities I know, they're still very tribal and very clannish. It's true. By the way, racism does not just confine to the white communities, urban communities, or rural communities. Now, just a few days ago, one Liberal MP in the Toronto region, Yasmin Ratansi. She's the MP of Don Valley East riding in Ontario, somewhere in Toronto. She was kicked out from the Liberal Party because she was accused of giving racist remarks against Southeast Asians, Chinese, etc. She herself is not white and she was not born in Canada. Now, according to the CBC report, a former employee of her described, she said there are too many Chinese in the riding and she did not want any more Chinese. She also said that constituents shouldn't sell their houses to the Chinese because they don't vote. She discouraged staff from working on some South Asian community immigration files because she felt some came to Canada illegally and they couldn't be trusted. Another former employee said there was definitely a lot of explicit as well as casual racism that I observed and heard during my time in that office. A lot of vitriol directed to certain ethnic groups and religious groups. She apologized for one statement that she made. She said sexual violence happens because women sexualize themselves, and when it came to dealing with sexual harassment, women should have thicker skin and treat encounters like water off a duck's back. Now that's how she described it. Don't forget, she's a politician, a public figure, and most of all, people in Don Valley in Ontario, part of Toronto, voted for her. Racist attitude can be found in any ethnic groups. It's not just important for us to vote, that we care whom we vote for. When we vote for someone who's not a hypocrite, who's genuine, and most of all, who is not an opportunist. I understand this is a sensitive topic. Please leave your comment, like, and share this video.